Hello, and welcome to Word of Hope for this Feast of Holy Father St. Francis. I'm Brother Joe Trout, coming to you from St. Vincent Fair Priory in River Forest, Illinois. And St. Francis is one of the most captivating saints throughout Catholic history. He's a contemporary of St. Dominic, and we Dominicans love St. Dominic, but we also have to admit the life of St. Francis is one of legend. I mean, he's an incredibly captivating figure. The radicality of his transformation, his total gift of self to building up the church. I mean, all of the bits and pieces we could spend quite a while talking about, right? I just want to focus on one thing today, and that is the life of humility that emerges from him. That when we think of St. Francis, we often get the St. Francis statue in the garden, that his embrace of nature is what stands out so much. But his appeal to nature is actually something way bigger, that his love of all things is an awareness of the depth of the mystery of reality, the depth of the goodness that God has built into this universe, and all of the complicated ways that it kind of holds together. That when he preaches of brother sun, sister moon, when he speaks of the animals, it's not just, he really loves pets, which is great, but it's an awareness of he's one piece of a really big puzzle, that he's a tiny part of an incredibly majestic whole, and that he has a sense of his place in living for that whole and being a part of a plan beyond himself, of giving of his life to something way more important than just him. That he ought to honor the dignity of all of creation and try to build up its goodness, that he ought to honor the dignity of others, and that he should be using his life for something. I think that's what makes him so evocative, this turn away from the self and towards the world, and a world that's messy and hard and broken, which I'm pretty sure we can all relate to, that this Word of Hope started at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's still going. Life is not back to normal and may never really be normal ever again. It may just be changed. And so, we can't have that romantic just optimism of, oh, soon it'll be great again. That's not how St. Francis lived. He lived dependent and radically vulnerable and giving of himself at great risk all the time. And his life is one of tremendous hope, of giving it away and confidence that in the mystery of God's plan in the universe, that all of my efforts to live in love of neighbor will pay off and are going to create something beautiful. So I ask you today just to ponder, what do we make out of these incredible figures? Are they just romantic figures from the past? Or is someone like St. Francis that call for each and every one of us to live a life radically given to a world beyond ourselves, to enter into the mystery of this beautiful creation, the whole of reality, and to live myself as someone who has one tiny piece, but that one tiny piece can be a pretty important part of the whole. So how will we, like St. Francis, give our lives away to build up the creation of God? Thank you, and God bless.